Well, here we are, boys. We're on a little property here just up to the north of Rockhampton in the back of Rosmoya. It's a great little place, 4,666 acres here in this block. Property by the name of Charcoal. I'm going to take you around and give you a look at this place. Those ranges you can see in the background over there, they're the Byfield ranges. I don't need to tell you, it gets plenty of rain from the back of there. I'll show you here, boys. There's a ridge here not far past the entrance to the property. Now you can see here it's just basically seedlings growing. This is all former softwood vine scrub country type. You can see by the type of the seedlings that have grown up here. I want to draw your attention to that. You can see the soil type there and those tracks. There's a little bit of that on here. It just wants light raking, but in amongst that there's Townsville stylo, Verno stylo, bits and pieces of other pastures all up through that country. So you know, it's just a matter of raking it off and stacking it, and it's very good country. Just looking down off that ridge that I just showed you a moment ago, and you can see all these flats, beautiful flats for the development of water pasture. Some of them already have got water pasture. Once again, I want to draw your attention to those ranges in the background. That's the Byfield ranges. You know, we're not up against it, the block, but by the same token, we're not far off them. So there's plenty of water comes back off that country. Once again, this ridge that I just showed you a moment ago, that's had green panic and other grasses as well. I didn't mention that while I was talking before, planted on it. And once you start stirring this up, it'll all come back again. Well, here we are, just looking at the yards here on Charcoal, and I'll just take a little bit of a drive and run in and show you in through them. Good set of cattle yards, timber cattle yards. As you can see, they're a good solid set of yards, timber yards, and all the things you need there. Branding cradle. Is there a vet crush there? No vet crush. And then going back around into the receiving yard over there. Looking down across the flat here, a good flat running away from the ridge here, and just take note there, boys, that that's a laneway there running back into the yard. Good solid laneway running back out into the other paddocks. Now, boys, throughout this property there is extensive water. I just want to show you here, this is Werribee Creek here we're showing. This is just about the end of August, I think the 25th or 26th of August, and just have a look at the water that's running down through here. I mentioned before about the Byfield ranges. Up there and coming off the Byfield ranges, there's a multitude of creeks and springs and everything running, and these sort of places run for many months. The Werribee Creek is a good permanent creek, basically all year round, and runs, as you can see there, for quite a lengthy period of time. We'll head on out and have a look at some of these other flats on the other side. Just want to mention here that I mentioned before it was the 25th of August. I'm sorry about that, it's the 25th of June. Now just coming back here, looking back at the property again, this is a flat leading back across it. If you can see in the distance over there, and I'll take you over close in a minute, but that dead timber you can see, or dead trees you can see, is basically a line of dog-tongue tea tree that's been hit with grasslands, and I'll show you a little bit more of that in a moment. But as you can see, good flats running right around us here. Very good. Basically 1/3 of this country is standing timber. The rest of it is all open flats or developed flats, such as we're looking at here now. A moment ago, boys, about the grasslands that's been put on this dog-tongue tea tree. There it is there. That was only around about 12 months ago, and I can tell you now there's a mile of feed here. Once the vendor gets a fire through this, you'll see a lot of that on the ground, absolutely burnt out. That's the best way to handle dog-tongue tea tree. Just hit it with grasslands and wipe it out. That's running back to the flat, back away from there, and a lot of that country that I showed you before, once again, it could either be just hit it with grasslands and away you go again. Just looking at these cattle here, these breeders, they've just had big lumps of weaners taken off them, but you can see the condition of the cattle. as I say, with 25th of June. They'll go through winter well. Miles of feed here. There's 450 head of breeders on this place, and there's miles of feed here. The vendor will be burning some of this after a couple of frosts so that we can start getting some of that dog tongue tea tree burnt down. But basically you can get an idea how the breeders, how cattle do handle this country, and they handle it very well, breeders. It's all good female country. Buyers, I want to draw your attention to this bit of country here. Now, it's cattle work all through this country. It's around about 15 towards 1800 acres. We're going to say 15 to 1800 acres, just for the sake of the argument. But it's green on the vegetation map, so basically you'd need to check out and make sure what the department, how they see that. But in my understanding of green is that you can do something with it with a permit. But cattle, the vendors have never bothered doing anything with it. Cattle feed all through it. It's got that bandicoot grass, we call it. It doesn't slow numbers down or anything like that. The same numbers feed there every year. They burn it every year just at the end of winter, and the moisture's there, and it gets a good body of feed, good short sweet feed growing in it straight away, straight after winter. Here, just going to do a pan around. That's looking at that country that's vegetation on the vegetation map is green, but I'm pretty sure you'll find with the new government, Campbell State Government, Campbell Newman's government, that possibly you'll better get permits to do something with that. And we're coming around this area I'm showing you here right now. That is not green, that's white. It could be grassland, and really, honestly, that's the way to handle this this country. Bit of grasslands, and you'd have all that out of the way. Just avoid some of your bigger trees if you wanted to keep them as camps and so forth. But this flat up in the top end here, cattle come up here, and there's a laneway runs from this paddock right the way back down to the yard. So every bit of the place has got a laneway coming off the paddocks, very easy to muster, easy to handle. Just a bit of a shot of some of the breeders that are on this block. I'll take some good close-up still shots of them. Well, buyers, just looking here at this creek again, but here you are. You know, we've been around, we've had a look at everything on this place. I've given you a very good cross-section of what the place is all about. There's a lovely little water hole there. We're back in Werribee Creek again. We've been back up and around the place, but there's not much more I can tell you about it, other than to say, if you're looking for a little place, run 450 breeders, 4,666 acres, give us a call. I'd love to bring you up here and show you around. And I'm very sure that if you've got any idea of what we got here, you'll be very interested. Talk to you soon.